So guys, today we're going to be talking about Tomb and Contest of Elders, basically guiding you through everything that you need to know about this new activity so that you can jump in and get the most rewards from it. So first let's talk about the differences between the Tomb and Contest of Elders. The Tomb of Elders is a single loop of the Prison of Elders area. Once you get to the end and claim your rewards, that is the activity over and you can go and leave. Think of it similar to a 10-wave version of Onslaught, and then the Contest of Elders is similar to a 50-wave version of Onslaught, where you do multiple laps of the prison and you need to worry about how well you're actually doing, because if you do really well, you're able to skip certain encounters and just get the activity done quicker, and you'll get more rewards depending on how well or poorly you do. So let's first go over the objectives that we need to be paying attention to. So at the top left of my screen right now, you can probably see a main objective and a critical objective. The main objective is dependent on what room you are in. There's a Scorn room, Lucent Hive, Dread/Taken, and Shadow Legion. They all have their own main objectives, and then they have a shared pool of critical objectives, which are like mini objectives for you to do during your time in these rooms. Now inside of these rooms, there's probably going to be some big boss with a health bar that we need to deplete. Once that health bar is gone, the room is done, and then during your time in these rooms, mini objectives will spawn. So let's first cover the main objectives in each of these rooms. So for the Hive room, the main objective is probably going to be something like shooting crystals in the room, which are these void crystals, which you should see in the sky. And the main way you'll be doing this is you'll need to wait for a light blade style boss to spawn from the big main portal. There'll be wizards and Lucent Hive guardians for you to go and defeat all them, and then the Lightblade boss should spawn. Defeat him and he'll drop a pool on the ground. Stand in this pool to then be able to shoot the crystals, and that's that objective done. Scorn room, the main objective is going to be collecting these canisters around the room. Once you're close to one, they'll be marked on your HUD, so just zoom around the room, and once you're near one, you'll know where it is. Collect about 6 of them, and then that's your main objective done. But then you'll also have this cage in the room as well, which you'll need to scan, and it basically acts like a mini capture zone. There'll be Revenant Scorn Barons as well spawning in near that zone. So remember, you'll need to kill those enemies and then follow where the totem goes, which is the little like pinkish red totem that'll fly away to a random spot in the room, and then that's the main objective for the Scorn room. For the Dread/Taken room, you're basically playing Rift, but you'll need to collect Resonance like you did in the Vow of the Disciple raid. They're these little orange little collectibles that you can run into, and then you'll immediately pick them up. You can pick a maximum of 3 Resonance up, but you don't need to always get a max of 3. You can dunk as little as you want depending on how much is necessary. So if you have 2 resonance and you need only like 1 or 2, go to the dunk spot and just dunk it, but you can only hold a max of 3. Dunk it like you would in Rift, and then that's that main objective done there. And for the Shadow Legion Cabal, the main objective is going to be defeating these glowing enemies, which will then drop these bombs, which will then either need to throw at a ship in the sky, or you'll need to throw them at these giant fuel canisters, which are also hidden around the room, similar to the Scorn room main objective. Then after you have destroyed the ship or destroyed all of the canisters, the boss from within the ship will spawn, or the dome within the middle of the room will deactivate, allowing you to then defeat the bosses inside. Now, alongside all of those main objectives, there's also going to be a handful of critical objectives, which are like side objectives that also take place inside of these rooms alongside those main objectives. The critical objectives could be poison in the bottom half of the room, which will then need to look for Scourge of the Past styled switches, activate all those switches, and then the poison will fade. You've also got diffuse mines. Now there's one important thing to note about these mines is that some of them will actually be fake. If you look at the mine itself and it looks kind of damaged or broken, or the timer as you diffuse the mine is going really quickly, that is a fake mine and will actually explode after you diffuse it, killing you and not progressing the objective at all. So keep an eye out for those fake mines. Normal mines will diffuse at a normal rate and will just look not damaged. I've also heard that they have like a dark ether kind of effect to them, similar to the fake chests that were in that dungeon that I can't remember the name of currently. But yeah, that's that objective. You also have another objective which I've run into, which is the Warden Servitor will actually spawn into that room that you're in, whichever room you are. Similar to how he does in the Strike, he'll have that big fire AoE attack where he opens up and the whole room just starts to burn you unless you hide behind some cover. So defeat that boss, and then that'll be that objective completed. And note, he does teleport around the room, so if you're using some close range weaponry, you might run into some trouble there, but just defeat the Warden Servitor, and then that should be that critical objective completed. Now, there might be some others that I haven't run into, but those are just the main ones that I have run into myself. And critical objectives can happen in any room. So you can get poison in all of the rooms, you can have diffused mines in all the rooms, and the same for the Warden Servitor, I'm guessing, although I've only seen the Warden Servitor spawn in the Lucent Hive room itself, but I'm just guessing that all of these can spawn in all of the rooms respectively. Now then, let's talk about the mini rooms slash traversal sections, because these also do have mini objectives within them themselves. These can be either get to the end of the traversal section before time runs out, beat all the enemies, or collect all of the like blue light beacons that you just need to run through, similar to how you would in the Exodus down strike on Nessus, or how you used to. I think they've removed that part of the strike. Either way, just collect all the blue things. That shouldn't be all that hard to find. And just get to the end of those mini jumping puzzle sections, which you'll run into in between those main rooms. Now, as you're going through, you're mainly going to want to be doing these rooms as quickly as possible, because the faster you go, the higher your Warden's Judgment rank will increase. If you go slow and die a lot, then you'll actually get rank towards Warden's Punishment. This goes up to ×1 to ×2 to ×3 in each one. So you'll have Warden's Judgment ×1, ×2, and ×3, and then Warden's Punishment ×1, ×2, and ×3. If you finish an entire run of the Contest of Elders with maximum Warden's Judgment, that being ×3 Warden's Judgment, when you get to the very end and go to the Golden Chest room, you'll have the big chest in the middle and then 3 extra chests to open. If you're at ×2, I'm guessing you'll have 2 extra chests, and then ×1 you'll have 1 extra chest. And then I haven't actually figured out what happens if you run into any Warden's Punishment stacks when you get to the very end, because I honestly, with the time I've spent in it, going in with just complete randoms, I haven't finished with a Warden's Punishment rank. So if you know what happens, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm actually really interested. I'm guessing you just don't get any loot at all, but that might be a bit harsh. Maybe there's just some extra challenges you need to do. Not 100% sure there. But yeah, just go really, really fast and you'll get rewards depending on how fast and how well you do in this mode. And it's actually a lot of fun. All the rooms have their own unique challenges, which is very, very satisfying to get done and do. Very similar to the vibe of Prison of Elders from Destiny 1, which is great. And that is basically everything for the contest and the Tomb of Elders activities. Now, I've only run the Contest of Elders twice, and on my second run, I actually was dragged into a run midway through. So I haven't actually done all that many runs, so I might have missed some objective requirements and some other hidden things that I just might not have run into yet. So if you yourself have noticed anything or any tips and tricks that you might find useful for other people, be sure to leave them down in the comment section down below. And also, while you're there, leave your thoughts on this activity. I actually really enjoy it. It does give those strong Prison of Elders vibes, which is really, really fun, but then also adds in that new like Riven's Lair style roguelike game mode, which is also great. So that combination just creates this really fun gameplay loop, and the fact that it is way more rewarding than the Salvation Onslaught means that it's really good for loot, especially if you get to that max Warden's Favor ×3 and get to the very end and just open all of those chests. So all in all, really fun activity. Be sure to jump into it for yourself. One thing that I want to mention though, if you haven't seen my video yesterday where I did a guide on all of the new things of Act 2, there are some brand new IDO quests for you to go and do, and one of those does give you an upgrade where you get bonus rep and maybe some extra like currencies and stuff for doing Contest of Elders. So highly would recommend going and getting that done before you start committing to farming out weapons or just farming out this activity in general. Yeah, that is it from me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful. If you did, if you could leave a like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. But with all that being said, that is it from me here today. So I'll catch you all in the next one.